Forgive my voice in this one, guys. I am a little bit sick, but with that being said, let's get started. Every once in a while, I get the urge to do fan art for the K-pop girlies. Twice in particular are my favorite group, so I like to draw them a lot. In the photo shoot that they did to promote their most recent Japanese album was so cute. As soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to draw something based on it. However, if we think back to the last time I tried to draw a portrait for every single Twice member, I got way too carried away trying to practice realistic rendering and lost interest in my drawings, even though the concepts were so pretty. This time I took a bit of a different approach. Instead of doing one member at a time, start to finish, I did all of them together, step by step, and it made it a lot easier to make the illustrations look cohesive. I started with doing sketches and lines for each of the girls first before moving on to flat colors for them all, and then finally adding backgrounds and some lighting and fine details. I wanted to make sure all of the portraits had a cute background to match the orange creamsicle vibes of the van photo shoot, because that one was my favorite. So I made this cute little orange and flower repeating pattern to put behind the girls. For some of the girls later, you'll see that I changed it to green to match better with the outfits that they're wearing. The first portrait I started was Nayeon's. For hers, I didn't change much from the initial reference picture other than simplifying the shapes and leaving out her rings. I didn't want to distract too much from her face, so I left them out because they were so close I thought that they would compete. Moving on to portrait number 2, we have Jeongyeon. For this one, I did stray a bit from the reference. I don't know, something about the photo felt a little off to me. Not that she doesn't look pretty, because she does. But this is really nitpicky, but to me it kind of looked like they edited her shoulders to be a little bit too straight. So when I drew them, I rounded them out a little bit to make it look more natural. Also, it just felt like with her holding all of the fruit that there was just a little bit too much going on, so I simplified it to just one orange. And then since I created so much open space by removing the fruit, I added in a cute little necklace to break up some space in her chest area. Just like with Nayeon's portrait, for Momo's, I stayed pretty close to the original reference. I only changed the shoulders and arms slightly because they seemed a little bit off after I drew them the way they were in the picture. I also decided to change the color of her shirt from white to yellow. I don't really remember why I did that, but I do like it, so I'll just keep it. Overall, just very small changes. When it came to making Sana's portrait, I ended up changing a lot from the original photo. First of all, I changed the way that she was facing. I do this again later with Dahyun, but basically too many of the girls in a row would have been facing the same direction, and I thought it looked weird in my Procreate thumbnails, so I flipped their portraits to face a different direction. Also, I changed her arm position because with this going on a patterned background, the original pose of her holding on to the car handle wouldn't have made sense. A problem I always run into when drawing Sana is having it look like her. I feel like she looks wildly different in every photo shoot due to what makeup or editing style they want to do on her. So I picked the green photo as a reference, partly because I thought it looked more like her than the orange, but even then I had to go to her Instagram for reference and try and get her nose more right. I'm not sure if it really worked or not. It kind of still isn't perfect in my opinion. For Jihyo, I only changed a little bit about the angle of the reference, and then I kept the rest pretty much the same. I did go back in and add her little nose freckle that they edited out or covered with foundation. I feel like for this one, there's something I'm not entirely satisfied about, almost as if it looks like her and doesn't at the same time. I don't know, it might just be how I decided to stylize her. Moving on to Mina, I once again changed the pose. I thought it was too similar to Jihyo's, and also it's interrupted by the silhouette of the van window, which again wouldn't make sense on the pattern background that I made. Other than that, I kept it pretty similar to the reference, just simplifying small details. One thing I found interesting while drawing this one is that Mina is actually the only person wearing blue-gray contacts instead of brown, like the other girls. I wonder why they decided to do that for this photo shoot. The next portrait I did was for Dahyun. And for this one, like I mentioned earlier, this is one of the ones where I decided to flip the reference picture so there wouldn't be too many girls in a row facing the same direction. Other than that, I kept the portrait mostly the same as the reference, just simplifying the style, especially when it came to the details on her lace dress. She and Jeongyeon have my favorite styling for this shoot. I just love a good picnic dress. The 8th twice portrait I did was for Chaeyoung. And for this one, I liked the way her hair was done in the green photo shoot, but I thought the orange photo shoot outfit would fit a little bit better with the portraits I had done so far. So I used that one instead, but changed it to be green so that it would match the background better. There's something missing from it though. Looking at it now, I feel like I should add a clip or something in her hair to break up some of the black space at the top of her head. But other than that, I think it turned out really cute. And for the final portrait, we have Tzuyu. I liked the composition for this photo already, so I just kept everything pretty much the same other than the background. I really like the way that her hair kind of frames her position in the composition, with it being straight instead of wavy. I feel like it gives a lot of contrast compared to the other girls' photos. Anyway, like I said before, I just really liked this photo shoot and thought it would be a really fun set of portraits to work on in between work days for some great springy, summery picnic vibes. I also really wanted to get into repeated patterns recently, so I'm glad that part worked out well. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you stick around for more art videos. Bye bye!